Have you determined that pee pads are not the answer to your puppy potty training? Are you trying to figure out how to move forward with potty training without the pee pads? Michelle here, your fear-free certified trainer with How to Train a Dream Dog. Now, I'm going to help you with the potty training today, specifically if your dog has had some past experience with pee pads. Before we get started, it would mean the world to me if you hit that subscribe button. This way, you're gonna never miss another important puppy training video from my team and I. Now, I've got some amazing suggestions for you today. This will include the 4 fundamentals of potty training that will successfully teach your dog to go potty outside, hold it inside, and ring the bell to alert you that he needs to go out. We'll get to that in just a minute. I do need to give you a little info on the downsides of pee pads, just in case you're not sure if you should use them or you should use them some of the time. Now, I know a lot of breeders or rescues use pee pads. Hey, they're convenient, that's for sure. After all, with multiple dogs, it's really hard to potty train them all at once. You'd be constantly on a rotation of taking one out, then the others, and by the time you get through them all, you'd have to start all over again. And the problem with that is that the breeder or the rescue doesn't have to live with the dog for the next 10 to 15 years. You do. And unfortunately, when someone uses pee pads, it actually teaches the dog that soft, squishy surfaces are the place for potty breaks. Can you think of a few soft, squishy surfaces in your home? Yep, how about your rugs, carpets, pillows, couch cushions, mattresses, and more. Dogs won't differentiate between these surfaces and the pee pad. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to get rid of all those things in your house. So the natural choice is to train your puppy to go potty somewhere that fits better with your human world, as in the outdoors. Now, pee pads also become chew toys for many puppies. The pad has interesting textures and it crinkles just like a dog toy. And if your puppy were to ingest some or all of the pad, it becomes a medical emergency with a very expensive vet bill. Now, the cost of surgery to remove a foreign object is between $2,000 to $5,000 for a dog. I've got a lot of other things I want to spend my money on, and I'm sure you do too. So pee pads can be very unclear for dogs as well. They don't really recognize where the pad begins and ends, so they just end up going in the general area and often missing it altogether. So the very thing you hope to prevent is now a messy cleanup task. It's exactly what you're going to be getting. All right, so there are some steps to follow to teach your puppy to go potty outside and wean him or her off those pee pads. First, I want you to get rid of the pee pads altogether. Now, some people think that the hybrid system is a good way to wean a dog, but puppies learn from consistency and routine. So if they have too many options where to go, none of them are going to become the main spot. So get rid of all the pee pads right away. Next, you're going to want to use some sort of puppy pen or baby gate. And if you haven't started using a crate yet, that's going to be important too. One of the fundamentals of potty training is to restrict your puppy's freedom. Now, this means that you can keep an eye on him and prevent him from sneaking off and having an accident. We recommend using crates for all nights and naps. And when the puppy is awake and you're not actively supervising, use a puppy pen to keep his space small. Now, you can use baby gates to restrict him to just one room if that works better for you in your home. Puppy proofing is a pretty individualized process, depending on your home layout. But we have some great ideas for you in this video, if you'd like to see how other puppy owners have done it. Now, another fundamental of potty training is rewarding your puppy when he goes potty outside. So the timing of this, it actually matters a lot. You're gonna need to reward him right after he finishes, before he comes back inside. This is teaching him that what he just did is actually what you like. Then you're gonna see more of that behavior, and eventually you have a pup who's going outside with no indoor accidents. Another fundamental is cleaning up with the right product. Now, if there are accidents in your home, you're gonna need to use an enzymatic cleaner like Nature's Miracle. Doggy noses are super sensitive, and it's possible your pup will continue to smell urine and have another accident in the same spot if it's not properly cleaned up. So if you see that happening, you're going to need to block off access to that area and prevent more accidents. Once you fully establish the habit of going potty outside, you can remove the puppy proofing from that area. And the last fundamental of potty training is the routine. Watching your puppy's schedule and keeping a log of his habits is going to help you know when it's time for another potty break. This is going to allow you to get him outside to prevent an accident. When first working on potty training, you're gonna find that the potty breaks are very frequent when the puppy is awake. This gets better with time. The crate training I mentioned earlier is gonna help with this because it helps your puppy take good naps. It also encourages him to hold his bladder because puppies are less likely to go where they sleep. Now, you can't just put the pup in the crate, however. The crate has to be desensitized so the pup feels comfortable in there. And if you need help with that, you can start with this video for the basics on crate training. Are you finding this info helpful? If so, give us a like. Dogs like positive reinforcement, and so do dog trainers. Now, one question I get a lot when it comes to pee pads is, what do you do if you can't be home and let your dog out for potty? Some people rely on pee pads as the potty spot when they're away at work. Unfortunately, this is going to lead to the problem I mentioned earlier, a dog who learns to go in the house all over instead of outside. Remember that dogs don't care where they go potty? You do. So it's up to you to get your dog outside for each and every potty break. And if you're not home to take your dog out when he needs to go, well, we suggest hiring a dog sitter to help you. This is usually necessary for very young puppies, and as they grow, they can hold their bladder longer, so you can decrease your need for sitters. Sitters also provide helpful companionship for young puppies who are not good at being left alone. Even if you do leave your dog in a room with a pee pad, it's possible that he will either chew it up, which is very unsafe if you're not home, or he might just choose to pee near it, which defeats the purpose. Now, the final part of potty training is teaching your dog to alert to you when he needs to go out. Initially, you're going to be getting your puppy out proactively when the schedule indicates that it's time for a potty break. But eventually, it's helpful to have an adult dog who alerts you. Now, you can choose any alert you want, but we discourage teaching your dog to bark or scratch at the door. Now, if you teach your dog to use these behaviors to get your attention, well, he's likely to use them in other situations, which can be frustrating and build bad habits. I recommend the bell system to teach your dog to ring a set of bells that are hanging by the potty door. It's going to take a little time to teach your dog what the bells mean, but you can start by ringing them yourself when you go out. With time, you advance through the steps of the bell training. Now, the full bell training lesson is in my free digital new puppy starter kit. The link to this resource is in the description below this video. There's a video in there that explains it a little bit more, and you're going to also get one of your first training games and some important socialization information too. You can head to the link below the video and grab that free kit. And if you have a young puppy, you're going to love the sample schedule that you can use to put a schedule together that works for you. Just remember to be patient with this process, especially if potty training has already been taught using pee pads. It's going to take time for your puppy to relearn the new skills, but it's totally worth it. If you put in some extra work at a young age, you'll have years of peace and clean floors. So just remember, toss the pee pads today, restrict your puppy's freedom to prevent accidents, clean up with the right product, reward your puppy when he goes potty outside, and get on a good schedule so you know when it's time for another one. Now, with all those fundamentals in place, you'll have no problem with potty training. All right, this is Michele Lennon, your pro puppy trainer, signing off for now. See you in the next video.